Boxing fans, this is going to be a weekend to remember. There's major fights all weekend long, and I know you are not going to want to miss a single second. And while you're watching, don't forget to get in on all the action with my partners, DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings is offering all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. So don't wait. Sign up right now. All you got to do is download the DraftKings app. When you sign up, use my promo code Sonnen. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in same-game parlays for a chance at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on in-progress fights as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6, giving you a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers use my promo code Sonnen. Bet just $5 and you will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Kamaru Usman needs to consider retirement if he loses to Joaquin Buckley. Quote the Count, Michael Bisping. Kamaru Usman may not still have what it takes. I'm told he has bad knees. Quote the great Daniel Cormier. Kamaru Usman has not been training at this level, and the sport has passed him by. Jason 69, Underground Forum. All right, great. I want my quote out there too. Have you forgot who Kamaru Usman is? Chael Sonnen. Have you forgot who you're talking about? Kamaru Usman is the only person, this is a literal statement, the only person that you could argue for welterweight GOAT, which means you're going in front of George St. Pierre. He's the only person that you could do that. You would not win the argument, by the way, but you could do it and not lose credibility. You could do it and not look like a fool. Dana White himself flirted with that a number of times. Hey, look what Kamaru's done. He lapped a division, and these are newer guys. I mean, he really paid him his compliment, putting him in front of George. Would you say that about George if he came back? Would you be resistant? Would you think that Buckley's too much? Would you talk about, oh, he has to be done? I don't think so. I truly don't think so. Kamaru Usman is in that same line of talk. Listen, a guy's only as good as his last fight, right? That's a quote right from my friend, the maniac Tim Sylvia, but it's true, and I don't think that Tim even coined it. I think he took that from somebody else. It's a reality. You're only as good as your last fight. There is a time when Kamaru and those knees and father time and all this other stuff is going to come bite you in the ass. What evidence do you possibly have that that's happened? Was it his last fight? The one where 80% of the audience and one of the licensed judges said he beat Khamzat Chimaev at 185 pounds? And you got to throw out the one before that, whether you like it or not. You just do. You got to throw out Leon. If you're grading on a curve, you got to throw out Leon. He had problems with, there was Leon problems. There just was. There's always a guy in the bracket. You might go on and be able to win the tournament, but you need that son of a bitch on the other side. So you don't deal with him, because he's just kind of got the answers for you. And I'm telling you, that's really what that was like with Leon. It truly was. And people thought Kamaru won the third fight. And in the second fight, Kamaru was winning. He didn't need to beat Leon anymore. He just had to run out the clock. I mean, I'm just sharing with you. Make sure you know what you're looking at. Because if you go and look at the record, you could be very misled. Now, this is Joaquin Buckley. I will share with you, we do not know what the ceiling is on Buckley. Like, we don't have any evidence that Buckley does not have what it takes to be the world champion. It's a great fight. But if you lose great fights, if you lose to world champions, if you lose to guys that are just about to be world champion, since when do you need to retire? Since when? Since when would your peers look at you in the body of work and what you've done and think that it's all over? I'm just asking, do you know who you're talking about? Have you forgotten? Are your memories that short? Kamaru hasn't been in there a minute. That's not good, particularly with time. But it's not always bad. See Jon Jones versus Stipe, for example. See Jon Jones versus Surreal, just for example. Jon and Kamaru had the same belt. The one that says world champion on it. And that isn't a full assessment of how I think that this fight is going to go. I actually haven't given a ton of thought into how I think this fight is going to go. But I'll tell you a quick story. Cornered Colby Covington and Colby fought Buckley. And things were very much starting to go Colby's way. And there was enough time left. I do feel without that cut, things were strained. I don't want to disrespect Buckley, and Colby wouldn't want me to. I'm just sharing with you that the tide was turning. And Buckley had come up to Colby afterwards. He was very sportsmanlike, and he paid him a big compliment. And he basically said that, hey, I got my rounds, I got my points early. I felt you coming on. I hope your eye's okay. And everybody goes on about their day. But when that fight happened, Kamaru Usman was in the front row, and he was taking notes. Kamaru Usman knew full well, if Buckley gets the jump on my old nemesis, he is very likely in my future. And I will just tell you the look on Kamaru's face, like to why he was doing math, man. He was studying. He was fully sober. He was fully within the moment. He wasn't talking to the people around him. He was locked in on Buckley. And it's not a situation where Kamaru Usman couldn't have got other fights or he couldn't have sat. Kamaru Usman's rich. He doesn't have to fight. I'm just sharing with you. He doesn't gamble. He's got no drug problems. He doesn't have outside kids. He doesn't have multiple wives. He doesn't have all the stuff that makes fighters broke. None of them are true about him. He looked at a guy. He studied a guy. He sees where he's at. He's still got a goal of being world champion. He knows for that to be true at his age, he's got to beat the hammers. He's got to beat the guys that guys don't think that he can beat. But as one of the great minds in the sport, he sat there. I can tell you, I just happened to see him do it. We were in the check-in center. We're putting the Vaseline on. Colby says to me, do you have the mouthpiece? I'm going for the mouth. There's Kamaru Usman. Studying. Locked in. On his feet, watching everything. Watching the guys check in, listening to what the coaches are saying to him. He was a student. He's prepared for this fight. The fight can only go one of two ways. There's not 3 options or 4 options or 100 options. You can win the fight or the other guy can win the fight. That's it. But what about the performance, guys? What if Kamaru loses the fight, but he goes out and he wins 2 rounds? Just for example. I mean, this just happened to Ian Gary. Ian Gary just lost a fight, but there was moral victories. He got he got Rachmanov to the distance. He won a round or 2. He won a few positions. Came out of that fight talking about that was your greatest achievement. Talking about you're going to be our next main event. Talking about you're going to be fighting for the belt. And it was because of how well he performed and competed against somebody that was ranked higher than him. So where is it? And Buckley's either 6 or 7. He and Ian Gary are separated, and I believe Gary's in front of him, so that would make Buckley 7. But I'm close enough. Since when can you lose to top 10 guys? And we're not going to look at the performance? We're going to look at how you did? Yeah, there's ways he can look old overnight, and retirement's a very good idea, but there's also ways that he could lose this fight. You could come out and go, damn, you were really good. Hey, Buckley, you're fighting for the title. Kamaru, you did a great job. It's one of these things. Kamaru lost his last fight, and he gained more respect than any other fight that he won. Arguably, his loss to Chimaev up a weight class on short notice in a number 1 contenders fight at a weight that he had not competed at since his amateur wrestling days. It was a win. And now we're already talking about we're going to judge him based on the outcome of a match? How about, guys, we make a deal and we reserve that type of judgment for one of our all-time greats, and we agree that we're going to look at the performance and we're going to assess after and only after that.